Hi everyone and welcome back to the channel. This is my third WAD progression update, and this comes just after I have finished Base Ganymede and just before I'm going to take on Sigil. The bottom line is that I really loved the Base Ganymede map set. It's been so much fun working through every map. I don't have a bad map in that map set. I don't have anything that I regret going through or never want to see again. It was definitely a step up, larger maps, larger monster counts compared to what I've gone through with Fava Beans. But in terms of improving my skills, I had loads of opportunities, things like routing on larger maps, punching, handling traps, manipulating enemy positioning, encouraging enemy infighting, dealing with tough enemies like spider masterminds and cyber demons. And I've just had a real blast with it. And I definitely think like my kind of strategic approach to maps, the routing of them and dealing with tough fights and those sort of things has definitely improved. And I think when I say I really enjoyed it, I think a big part of enjoying Base Ganymede for me has been just the feeling that that whole map set is just really well balanced. And I really enjoyed the kind of episode structure that it has. So it's got 3 episodes, it's got 9 maps in each episode, so it's got 27 maps in total. And then for each episode, the first maps kind of ramp you into it, warm you up. They get quite big, large, kind of large maps, large enemy counts. And then as you work through the maps, the focus kind of starts to shift to shorter maps with interesting mechanics. And I just found that whole level of variation across them, even across all of the episodes, really made it really engaging, and it never got boring. So lots of interesting fights, lots of interesting map mechanics, all of the maps changing and varying as you go, so it never felt kind of samey, and just so much fun. Way too many highlights out there to try and list them all out, but if I give you 2 maps from each episode that I particularly enjoyed, starting with the first episode, we'd E1M5. It was quite a long slog for me to get through that map. Loved it. Got to the end, had the cyber demon fight in the nukage pit. I got some of my best outtakes on that. I just really enjoyed it. E1M6 was an awful lot of fun, again getting to a cyber demon fight, but here we're in an enclosed space where we're circle strafing the cyber demon on stairs. So that was really good fun for me. Second episode, E2M3. Nothing particular about that map. It was just fun. I think it was just kind of the tempo of the map. You can run through quite quickly, you can take things out, keep on moving, go. I really enjoyed that. E2M4 was the unforgettable, for me at least, the Tyson imp punch level, where we had 70 odd imps on the level and a berserk pack, and we had to go and punch everything out. And that took a lot of work for me, but I really enjoyed it. I was always somebody who preferred the chainsaw, but having used the berserk fist now, I think the chainsaw is it's becoming pointless for me. And as somebody who likes to pistol start levels, being able to punch stuff out is really important for kind of ammo conservation. So I really enjoyed that level. I think I learned, particularly an awful lot of good technique from that. And then in the third episode, we've E3M2, which I thought was tough but fun, and lots of kind of interesting routing around the map that I particularly enjoyed. And E3M5 was my first kind of flavour where I felt at the end of that map there's a cyber demon arena, and it's the first time I felt like I'm in an arena, there's lots of monsters around, there's a cyber demon there, I'm strafing around trying to pick stuff up and trying to blast it with a BFG, and I just really enjoyed that. So other really notable parts for me were just the gimmick maps. So the 8th map of each level, E1M8, E2M8 and E3M8, where we had platforming with spider masterminds and telefragging them. We had teleporting cyber demons we needed to deal with, and we had the spider mastermind and cyber demon infight we needed to get started in the map. So really enjoyed those. And the secret levels, so the 9th map of each episode, E1M9, E2M9 and E3M9. I just enjoyed them because they're quite short, punchy and fun. You just kind of, they're not long, sloggy levels, they're quite short. So I like that balance across the episode structure where it wasn't an increasing grind till you get to the end. It got tough towards the middle, and then the mechanics kind of changed and you could refocus on shorter maps. So I quite enjoyed that. I meant I never felt kind of tired of it. I was always interested in what the next map was. So really enjoyed Base Ganymede. I just thought it was incredibly good. So this is my familiar snapshot that captures where I am in my playthrough and what progress I've made in my playthrough all of the WADs. You can see that I've updated this. We've got another tick here against Base Ganymede, which means we have now completed that WAD. We've got a bullseye or a target against Sigil, which means that's the one we're currently working through and that I'll be uploading videos for in the near future. And Moonblood has got a question mark against it, meaning that I'm expecting Moonblood might be the next WAD that I take on once I've completed Sigil. Okay, so really, really looking forward to getting stuck into Sigil. If we look at the DoomWiki for Sigil, we'll see that Sigil was released in 2019, roughly to coincide with the 25th anniversary of the original release of Doom. And it was released by John Romero. John Romero is a very, very significant kind of influence in this area and for this genre of gaming. He started out in ID Software and has been one of the kind of critical or significant contributors that developed, you know, Wolfenstein, Doom, Doom 2, Quake, and so on. So, you know, a really big announcement in 2019 when we found out this WAD was being released. And you can see as well in 2019, it got the runner-up prize at the 2019 CAC Awards. And if we scroll down, we see we've got 9 maps in this WAD. So if I hop over to my ugly Excel sheet for this, we see Base Ganymede, which we've completed. If I go down to Sigil, we can see the WAD details here, the software settings, and the channel tracking. In terms of the WAD, one thing to make really clear, I'm using version 1.1 of Sigil. The latest release of Sigil is version 2.1, and I would recommend, if you're going to play through these alongside me, that you go for the 2.1 version. So that's been updated for some quality of life and some bugs and things like that. So I would go with that one if I was you. I've gone with version 1.1 because I've played Sigil in the past, and that was the WAD that was already sitting on my computer. I didn't complete Sigil before because I think I found it really, really challenging and difficult. I don't think I made it the whole way through. So it'll be interesting with this to see if I'm able to make my way through it this time round. Okay, so we can see here the 9 maps of the WAD, and also if we look at the monster count or the enemy count for each map, it's relatively low. So we're talking about maybe 80 enemies on average per map. So maybe half of what we had in Base Ganymede. So it'll be interesting to see how that works out. But quite a lot more secrets. So this is quite secret intense. So I think there's going to be a lot of hunting in my future. And you can see here, I've started playing through the initial maps of this WAD already. So I'll be uploading those once I get the opportunity to do so. When I'm uploading content to the YouTube channel, look out for this kind of familiar thumbnail design. So in the top, we've got the WAD, which is Sigil. We've got the map ID, and we've got the map name. And then over on the side, we've got the reference to Sigil here, just so you can identify quickly or as a quick visual reference that this is from that series of videos, so you can follow along. Thanks very much for listening, and I will talk to you in the next one. Okay, as a special treat to those who stayed on this long in the video, I just want to show you this. I really, really love it. So this is Base Ganymede. Anybody who's Googled it knows that Ganymede is a moon of Jupiter. And when we're on Base Ganymede and we look back, we look at the sky, we can see Jupiter. And it's beautiful. So when you're running through the map set and you go to some of the outdoor sections, you can just see Jupiter looming in the background. And I really, really like the way that's done. Really nice feature. All right, thanks, and see you in the next one.